What happened when I faced my childhood bully? Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. I know your face, Derek said, smiling like he'd just solved a puzzle. My hand froze on the grocery cart handle so hard my knuckles went white. The fluorescent lights over the produce section seemed to sharpen, like someone turned up the contrast on the world. I tasted metal. I hadn't seen Derek Holt since senior year, but my body recognized him before my brain caught up. Heat in my ears, throat tightening, that old instinct to get smaller. I was 31 now. I had a steady IT job at Bay Ridge Community College, a one-bedroom apartment that stayed clean because routines made me feel safe, and a life that looked calm from the outside. But the second Derek stepped into my lane, my nervous system time-traveled. He wore a charcoal coat that probably cost more than my monthly car payment and a watch that flashed when he moved. His smile was practiced, public-facing. His eyes were not. "Jamie, right?" he said, like we were old teammates. "Jamie Phelps. Man, it's been a minute." I forced air into my lungs. "Yeah. Hi." He leaned on his cart, like we were about to catch up. "Last time I saw you, you were the quiet computer kid, always lurking near the lab." That word, lurking, hit like a thumb pressed on a bruise. He said it light, like a joke, but he watched my reaction the way people watch a dog they're not sure will bite. I tried a neutral laugh I didn't feel. "Still computers," I said. "Just grown-up versions." "Good for you." His gaze flicked over me, quick and clinical. "Still dressing like you're trying not to be noticed, huh?" My cheeks burned. The rational part of me whispered, "He's just socially clumsy." The older, deeper part said, "He's checking if you'll fold." He lifted his phone and swiped through photos. Him on stages, shaking hands, posing beside banners about youth mentorship. One image stuck, teenagers in matching shirts, a logo that read Kids Code Forward. "That's nice," I said, because my mouth still tried to keep me safe. He chuckled. "Nice? It's impact." Then he lowered his voice and the warmth drained out of it. "I'm connected around Bay Ridge, Jamie. Don't make this weird." My cart creaked when my grip tightened, and he smiled wider, like he could feel it. Seeing him again dragged up memories I kept filed away like corrupted backups. Still there, still taking space, waiting for the wrong click. The first time Derek made me a target was 8th grade, in the cafeteria. I'd finally worked up the nerve to sit at the long table instead of the corner, tray shaking a little because I was trying to look normal. Derek slid in across from me, with 2 friends like he owned the bench. "Phelps," he said, loud enough for nearby heads to turn. "You got ketchup on your shirt." I looked down. Nothing. When I looked up again, his grin was already widening. He snapped a photo, flash on, of my face mid-panic. "Smile," he said. "This is going on MySpace." Everyone laughed like it was harmless. I laughed too, because that was the rule. If you laughed, it hurt less. By the end of lunch, someone had printed the picture and taped it to my locker with the caption "Ketchup King." I remember peeling it off with sweaty fingers, pretending I didn't care, while my stomach twisted into a tight, sick knot. The second memory was quieter. Freshman year, after gym, Derek followed me into the hallway that led to the locker rooms where the cameras didn't reach. He leaned in close enough that I could smell mint gum. "You ever tell anyone I pushed you?" he said softly. "I'll say you hit me first, and people will believe me. You know why?" I didn't answer. He tapped my chest with 2 fingers, not hard, but it felt like a brand. "Because you look like someone who lies." Then there was Mrs. Evers, my homeroom teacher, the one adult I tried to trust. I showed her the notes that kept appearing in my backpack. Nerd, freak, kill yourself, folded into tiny squares like origami hate. She skimmed them, sighed, and said, "Boys can be immature, Jamie. You're smart. Just ignore it." Ignore it. Like it was background noise. Like I wasn't losing sleep and food, and whatever part of me believed I deserved to take up space. In that aisle, her "just ignore it" echoed, and I snapped. I should have turned my cart around and left. That would have been the healthy choice, the adult choice. Instead, I stood there like a glitch in a system, watching Derek perform friendliness like it was a skill set he'd put on his resume. "So," he said, dropping a bag of organic almonds into his basket, "you work at Bay Ridge now? The college?" "IT support," I said. My voice sounded steady, which surprised me. "Nice." He nodded like he was approving a purchase. "I did a workshop there last month. Kids Code Forward, remember?" We bring tech opportunities to underserved communities. He said it with that shiny tone people use when they want praise without asking for it. I stared at his phone again. In the photo, the kids looked real. Their smiles looked tired. That's good, I said carefully. He grinned. Yeah, I've matured. We all have. Then he leaned closer, like he was sharing a secret. You ever think about high school? About how dramatic everything was? My heart thudded once hard. The word dramatic had always been his favorite way to rewrite reality. He kept going. I mean, you used to act like I was out to get you. He laughed softly. You were so sensitive. I felt my vision tunnel, the edges going slightly gray. I focused on the barcode sticker on a bunch of bananas to keep my balance. I didn't act, I said before I could stop myself. You did. His smile held. His eyes cooled. Did I? He said, gentle as a threat. Funny. I remember you being intense. Like you wanted people to feel sorry for you. I heard myself breathing. I hated that my body wanted to apologize just to end the moment. A woman reached around us to grab a bag of spinach. Derek stepped aside for her like a gentleman, then turned back to me. Anyway, he said brightly, as if we'd been discussing weather, I'm hosting a fundraiser next Friday. Community leaders, donors, the whole deal. Bay Ridge will probably be there. He paused. Maybe I'll see you. Don't be weird, okay? He patted my shoulder. Casual, ownership disguised as friendliness, and walked away. My phone buzzed in my pocket, and I didn't recognize the number. I waited until I got to my car to check the message, like I was afraid Derek could see through my screen. Unknown number. Is this Jamie Phelps? It's Mia Larkin. Call me when you can. Mia? I hadn't said her name out loud in years. She'd been the one person who didn't laugh when Derek pulled his stunts. Once, she'd slipped me a note that said, You're not crazy. I called her with my hands still shaking. Jamie. Her voice came through warm and careful. I can't believe that's still your number. It's me, I said. How did you? I saw you on Derek's Instagram story, she cut in. Not tagged, but I recognized you. He posted a little reunion clip. My stomach turned. He filmed me. 2 seconds. Enough to prove he had you. Mia's tone sharpened. He likes control. Why are you calling? There was a pause, and then she exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for weeks. Because he's doing something bad, Jamie. Not jerk from high school bad. People are getting hurt. Mia worked in payroll at a property management company. She said Derek's nonprofit, Kids Code Forward, had been listed on multiple workplace donation drives. Thousands of dollars. When she tried to verify the tax receipt for her own donation, the EIN on the letter didn't match any legitimate record. I thought it was a typo, she said. So I asked him for a corrected receipt. And he got weird. Weird how? He wouldn't email. He called and said, Mia, don't make this hard. I can help you move up, or I can make work uncomfortable. Her voice dipped. He knew I'd had a write-up last year. Stuff I never told him. My pulse hammered. How would he know that? I don't know, she said. But he's tied into Bay Ridge, and your college, and these sponsorships. He's got access somewhere. I wanted to dismiss it, to crawl back into my quiet life, to pretend this wasn't my problem anymore. Then Mia said, He's coming to Bay Ridge tomorrow. He asked for your name. I felt cold all the way to my bones. The next morning, I walked into Bay Ridge like I was walking into weather. My office was in the basement level, half storage, half help desk, where students came when their laptops wouldn't boot and professors forgot their passwords. Safe. Predictable. By 10:12 a.m., predictability was gone. My supervisor forwarded an email chain with the subject line, Sponsorship, Kids Code Forward / Bay Ridge Partnership. The sender was Derek Holt. The recipient list included our dean, 2 community outreach staff, and, somehow me. At the bottom, Derek wrote, Looping in Jamie Phelps, IT, per his request. He's been super helpful. Per my request. I stared at the words until they swam. I hadn't requested anything. I hadn't talked to Derek since the grocery store. I clicked through the chain. It was full of polished language about digital equity and grant matching. Attached were 2 PDFs, a sponsorship proposal, and an invoice. Invoice _1227. PDF. The date at the top made my skin prickle. December 27th. Today. For $4,850. Cyber Safety Training Modules, Bay Ridge Cohort. Payment requested via ACH to a KCF Operations account. I opened the proposal. The logo looked like the one on Derek's Instagram. The photos looked like the same kids. But the footer had something off, an address in another state, and a phone number with an area code that didn't match our region. My desk phone rang. I flinched so hard I almost knocked over my coffee. This is Jamie, I said. Jamie. It was Derek, his voice bright as a commercial. Perfect timing. I'm upstairs with Dean Harlow. We're finalizing the partnership. You're free to swing by, right? I wasn't told. Oh, don't worry. The smile was audible. I told them you, and I go way back. It builds trust. His tone softened. Also, I'd appreciate if you didn't make it awkward after yesterday. I stared at the invoice again. $4,850 wasn't huge in institutional terms. It was the kind of number that slid through if everyone assumed someone else vetted it. My phone buzzed with Mia's screenshot of the receipt and a red circle around the EIN. The EIN didn't exist, and Derek was already in our building. I walked upstairs with my heart banging like it wanted out. The administrative floor smelled like citrus cleaner and expensive stress. Through the conference room glass, I saw Derek leaning back in a chair, laughing with Dean Harlow like they were old friends. When I stepped in, Derek stood immediately. Jamie, he said, loud enough to fill the room. There he is. Dean Harlow smiled politely. Good to meet you, Jamie. Derek says you've been a huge help. I felt my face go hot. Actually, Dean, I haven't. Derek slid in smoothly. He's modest, he said. He's been making sure our modules integrate with Barrage's systems. Right, Jamie? He looked at me with that cafeteria grin, except now it was wrapped in adulthood and plausible deniability. Say yes, and you're complicit. Say no, and you look difficult. I chose calm and specificity. Dean, I said, keeping my voice even. I was added to this chain today. I haven't reviewed the modules or the invoice yet. The air shifted. Derek's smile didn't move, but his eyes tightened. Dean Harlow glanced at the packet. Oh, the dean said. I assumed IT had signed off. That's why I'm here, Derek said quickly. To get sign-off. We're on a timeline. I nodded like I was thinking, but really I was building a file. 10:12 a.m. Email forwarded. 10:19, Derek call. 10:34, meeting. I noticed how he kept the invoice page face down until the dean reached for it. How he talked over questions, how he dropped names. Councilwoman Pierce loved this. The hospital system is already in. Everyone's on board. When the meeting ended, Derek walked beside me down the hallway, matching my pace. Don't be the guy who derails a youth program, he murmured, friendly to anyone watching. People remember that. Then, quieter. Also, Mia should stop asking questions. My stomach clenched. Don't talk about her. He laughed under his breath. Or what? Back in my basement office, I created a folder, KCF. I forwarded emails to my personal account, saved the PDFs, photographed the packet, and started a notes doc with timestamps. It felt paranoid, and also, for the first time, like armor. What if I spoke up, and they dismissed me again? That night, Mia and I met at a coffee shop off Route 9. I brought my laptop. Mia brought a manila folder like we were about to commit a crime with paper cuts. I printed everything, she said, sliding it across. Donation drives. Vendor lists. The receipt he emailed me. And, she hesitated, then added, a screenshot from his fundraiser page. On my screen, Kids Code Forward looked clean and inspiring. Stock photo smiles. Testimonials with first names only. A big red button that said Donate Now. But the About section listed no board members, no annual report, no registration number, just Derek's face and a paragraph about transforming youth through code. I opened my Barrage folder. He sent an invoice today for cyber safety training modules. Payment through ACH. I zoomed in on the routing number. Mia didn't even blink. That's not a nonprofit account, she said. That's business checking. My cousin works at a bank. The first digits give it away. We started pulling threads the way you do when you finally stop being polite. I searched the state charity registry. No Kids Code Forward. I searched the IRS exempt organization list. Nothing. The domain had been registered 8 months ago under a privacy shield, but the contact email was a generic Gmail address. Kids Code Forward. team@gmail.com. That's not how real nonprofits operate, Mia said, jaw tight. I checked Derek's email signature. It listed an office address. I pasted it into Maps. The pin dropped on a strip mall between a vape shop and a vacant nail salon. Maybe they rent a small office, I offered, Because denial is a habit. Mia showed me a screenshot from her coworker group chat. Someone wrote, "Did anyone else's donation receipt look off?" Another replied, "My card got charged twice." My skin prickled. Charged twice when? November 3rd, Mia said. Same day Derek posted about record-breaking generosity. I opened the invoice metadata on my laptop. The PDF had been created at 1:07 a.m. today on a device named Derek PC. Because it meant the whole thing wasn't sloppy, it was deliberate. Over the next 3 days, Mia and I lived two lives. My normal help desk routine, and the one where Derek Holt was quietly vacuuming money out of people who wanted to help kids. On December 28th, I asked our accounts payable clerk, Tara, a careful question. "Do we have a vendor file for Kids Code Forward?" Tara frowned. "We do now. Dean Harlow asked me to set them up yesterday." She clicked around. "They're under KCF Ops LLC. That's weird for a nonprofit, right?" She sent me the W-9 they'd submitted. It listed KCF Operations LLC, Derek Holt, as managing member, and the same strip mall address. The tax ID wasn't a charity EIN. It was a business number. So the nonprofit was a costume. The money was going into a private company. I saved the file twice, once to my secure folder, once to a USB, then closed my inbox. That was the scheme in plain English. Derek built a charity-looking brand, pushed donations through workplaces, then built institutions for training modules that were basically pre-recorded videos and a worksheet. He even issued fake tax receipts to make people feel safe donating. Then the twist hit. On December 29th, Mia forwarded me a screenshot from a neighborhood Facebook group. A mom wrote, "Did anyone else get a letter saying their kid was selected for a Kids Code Forward scholarship?" She'd attached a photo of the letterhead. The letter included a student's full name, school, and date of birth. Where would he get that? Mia texted. My stomach turned. Bay Ridge ran dual enrollment programs with local high schools. I had access to student information as part of my job, names, DOBs, addresses. The kind of data you don't notice until you realize what it's worth. I opened our system's audit logs, something I was allowed to do when there was a suspected breach. I filtered for export events. There it was, a bulk export on November 2nd, the day before the double charges started. User, Dolt_vendor. Because Derek hadn't just built a scam, he'd used my workplace to feed it. On December 30th, my mom called while I was eating cereal for dinner. "Jamie," she said, and I heard the strain in her voice before she said anything else. "Did you sign up for some kids' coding charity?" My spoon stopped halfway to my mouth. "What?" "I got an email receipt," she said. "From Kids Code Forward. It says I donated $250. Paper rustled on her end, and my card statement shows 2 charges. 2. For a second, my brain tried to make it coincidence. Then the memories snapped into place like magnets. Derek's Instagram banner. Mia's double charge screenshot. The bulk export. My mom's name in Bay Ridge's emergency contact files from when she helped me enroll years ago. "Mom," I said carefully, "did you click anything? Fill out a form?" "No," she said. "I saw it on Facebook. They said they were helping local kids. I thought it was good." Her voice cracked. "Is it not good?" Guilt hit so fast it made me dizzy. My mom had raised me on overtime shifts in thrift stores, and she still found a way to give. Derek had taken that and turned it into a transaction. "I'm going to fix it," I said. "I promise." After I hung up, I checked my own credit monitoring app out of habit, the one my bank offered after last year's small breach. A red alert sat at the top of the screen. New inquiry, Bay Ridge Community Credit Union, December 29th. I hadn't applied for anything. My work email pinged. Subject line, quick question about audit logs. It was Derek. His message was 1 sentence long. "If anyone starts digging, you can keep this simple, right?" Then another email came in, forwarded from Dean Harlow, requesting my formal IT sign-off on the KCF training module by end of day. Derek wasn't just stealing. He was building a paper trail that pointed straight at me. I didn't answer Derek's email. I left it unread on purpose. At 4:57 p.m., walking to the staff lot, I saw his black SUV parked across 2 spaces like rules were optional. Derek leaned against the hood, scrolling his phone, looking casual enough to pass as just business. He looked up. "Jamie, perfect. I was hoping to catch you." My throat went dry. You can't just show up here. He laughed. Relax. I'm a vendor. His voice shifted into something almost reasonable. I think we got off on the wrong foot. I'm doing good work. Those kids. Real. They need mentors. I'm making things happen. You're using a fake EIN, I said. For half a second, his smile flickered. Then it reset. Wow, he said, like I'd disappointed him. You always did jump to conclusions. It's not a conclusion, I said. It's a number that doesn't exist. He stepped closer until his cologne hit my nose. Okay, he said softly. Let's pretend you're right. Do you know how many people donate to things that aren't perfect? They do it because it feels good. You want to be the guy who ruins that? My mom got charged twice, I said. His eyes narrowed a fraction. That's unfortunate. Reverse it. He tilted his head. I could, he said. But mistakes happen. Accounts get flagged. Credit inquiries pop up. HR gets nervous when there's talk of data exports. He smiled. People start asking why the IT guy was looking at audit logs. My stomach dropped. You don't get to. I get to do whatever people let me do, he cut in, still calm. His eyes stayed friendly, but his voice didn't. Here's the deal. You sign off. You stop digging. And this stays easy. I wanted to scream. Mostly, I wanted to disappear. The feeling was sickly familiar, like my body was 13 again, waiting for an adult to step in. Derek watched my face and seemed to read the wobble in my resolve. Good, he murmured. I knew you'd remember how this works. Then he lifted his phone and showed me a photo I hadn't seen in 15 years. The photo on Derek's phone was me at 14, face flushed, eyes wet, caught mid-panic in the cafeteria. Someone had added the caption in glittery text, Ketchup King. He'd saved it like a trophy. You still got that? I whispered. He shrugged. Memories. His smile widened. Imagine what the dean thinks when he sees how unstable you've always been. I walked away before my legs gave out. I sat in my car until the shaking slowed. Then I did the thing I'd avoided my whole life. I told one safe person the full truth. I called Mia. He threatened me. I said, with the old photo, with my job, with my mom's card. Mia didn't hesitate. Okay, we stopped playing defense. We picked the arena. The arena couldn't be a hallway or a parking lot. Derek was too good at turning those into, he said, she said. It had to be a place where receipts mattered more than charisma. On January 2nd, I requested a meeting with our HR manager, Mr. Patel, and got a slot for the next morning. My finger hovered over cancel. My brain replayed Mrs. Evers. Just ignore it. Instead, I opened a document titled, Timeline, KCF/Derek Holt. I listed the essentials with dates and times. 12/27, grocery store encounter. Don't make this weird. December 28th, Derek adds me to Bay Ridge chain per my request, meeting with Dean. December 29th, Mia confirms EIN doesn't exist, strip mall address. 11 halves, discovered 12/30ths. Bulk export in student system by Dolt_vendor. December 30th, parking lot threat. He mentions audit logs and shows the photo. I saved everything. Invoice_1227, sponsorship proposal, W9, screenshots of charity registry, searches showing no results found. I exported the audit log report as a read-only PDF. Mia emailed me her receipt and the double charge statement with card details blacked out. Then I called Bay Ridge Community Credit Union about the inquiry on my credit report. They confirmed an online application had been started using my name, my address, and my date of birth. They told me to file a police report. At 9:13 p.m., I submitted the report and got a case number, 25 to 10,384. Then a calendar invite popped up, and it was from Derek. Derek's calendar invite was titled, Quick Coffee, Clear the Air. Location, Harbor Bean Cafe. Time, January 3rd, 8 a.m. I didn't want to meet him alone. Mia had said, pick the arena. So I accepted and forwarded the invite to Mr. Patel with one line, vendor issue involving student data. Please advise. At 7:42 a.m., Patel called. Calm. Flat. Adult. Do not meet him off-site, he said. Come to my office at 8. Bring what you have. I handed him my timeline, the invoice, the W-9, and the audit log report. Patel read without reacting. When he reached the audit log line, user, Dolt_vendor, bulk export, 11 halves, his eyebrows lifted a fraction. This vendor account wasn't created by IT, he said. Procurement did it. I never asked for it, I said. He wrote that I did. Patel nodded once. We'll document. We'll involve legal. And we'll involve security. He glanced at his screen. I'm inviting Holt here. My stomach flipped. He won't come. He already tried to schedule you, Patel said. He believes he's untouchable. At 8:09, Derek walked into HR like he owned the place. He didn't see me at first. Then he did, and his smile twitched before it reset. Jamie, he said, I thought we were doing coffee. Patel stood and offered a handshake Derek couldn't refuse. Derek Holt? Please sit. This concerns Bay Ridge's relationship with KCF operations. Derek glanced at me. Is this necessary? He asked. Jamie gets worked up. Patel slid the W-9 across the table. Why is your nonprofit registered as an LLC? Derek's smile tightened. That's just structure. It's common. And why does our system show your vendor account exported student data on November 2nd? Patel asked. Derek's eyes flicked down, then up. I don't have access to student records, he said quickly. Jamie does. I opened my laptop and turned it toward Patel, the export event, the timestamp, the IP address. This wasn't me, I said. It's his account. Derek's voice rose an octave. This is ridiculous. He's targeting me because of high school drama. Patel's tone stayed level. Then you won't mind if we pull badge logs and network access history, he said. For the first time, Derek didn't have a smooth reply. Then Officer Reyes walked in, and Derek's face finally changed. Officer Reyes didn't come in like a hero. He came in like a form you can't avoid filling out. Calm, observant, not impressed by charm. Morning, he said, taking the empty chair. Mr. Patel said there were concerns about data access. Derek tried to laugh. It sounded wrong. This is insane, he said. I run a youth program, and I'm in HR because Jamie can't let go of teenage drama. He turned to me with practiced pity. Jamie, I'm sorry you were uncomfortable in high school, but you can't punish me forever. Uncomfortable. Like it was an itchy sweater, not years of fear. I planted my feet and kept my voice flat. This isn't about high school, I said. It's about you exporting student data and issuing fake receipts. Derek's smile slipped. I didn't export anything, he snapped. Then he caught himself and softened. If that account did something, someone used my credentials. Reyes asked, do you share passwords? Of course not, Derek said, offended. Patel slid the network log across the table. The export happened from an IP address tied to your vendor laptop while you were on campus, Patel said. Same day you signed in at the front desk. Derek's eyes flicked over the page like it burned. So you're taking his word over mine? We're taking logs, Patel said. Derek's gaze landed on me, hard. You always did love hiding behind screens, he said. Sneaking. Watching. It's creepy, Jamie. There it was, the old move. Make the target look unstable so the bully looks reasonable. He pivoted to Reyes. You know what's really happening? He's obsessed with me. I've got evidence. Derek yanked out his phone and played the grocery store story, me frozen by the bananas, face caught mid-flinch. Look at him, Derek said. That's not normal. He's been unwell for years. For 1 second, I was 14 again, watching adults choose the easier story. Then Mia's note flashed in my head. You're not crazy. I leaned forward. Officer Reyes, I said. I filed a police report about identity theft. Derek's smile dropped, and he hissed. Why would you do that? The next 48 hours moved fast in the way nightmares do. Blurry, unavoidable, full of people saying, just one more question, while your stomach stayed clenched. Officer Reyes took my statement first. He asked for the case number. When I said 25 to 10,384, his pen paused, then kept moving. Okay, he said. We'll connect this to the campus incident. You did the right thing documenting. He looked at Derek. Sir, step outside with me. Derek tried to switch back to charm. This is a misunderstanding, he said. I'm being targeted. Reyes didn't argue. He just held the door. Derek's jaw flexed. Then he stood. As he passed me, he leaned in like he couldn't help himself. This won't end how you think, he whispered. Patel heard it anyway. His voice went cold. Mr. Holt, your vendor access is suspended effective immediately. You are not to contact staff or students. By that afternoon, the dean emailed campus-wide. Bay Ridge is conducting an internal review regarding a third-party vendor and potential data exposure. No names. Just enough to make everyone whisper. Legal got involved. Procurement got involved. IT security got involved. I sat in meetings explaining it in plain language. He downloaded a spreadsheet of student records, names and dates of birth, from an account created for him. Meanwhile, Mia did what I couldn't. She went loud. She posted in her neighborhood group with screenshots, double charges, the fake EIN lookup results, the strip mall address. She blurred personal info and left the rest sharp. Within an hour, other parents commented that they'd gotten scholarship letters. One person said their kid's school had received a sponsorship offer asking for student lists to pre-qualify applicants. It wasn't just me. It was a pattern. By January 6th, Reyes called me back. "We're opening a formal investigation," he said. "Financial fraud and identity theft. We may need the logs." That night, I didn't sleep. At work, people looked at me differently. Some with sympathy, some with suspicion, like trauma was contagious. The subject line read, "You think you're safe?" And my hands shook. I didn't open the threatening email alone. I forwarded it to Patel and Reyes first, because I'd learned the lesson Derek hated. I wasn't keeping his secrets anymore. Reyes tied it to my case. A week later, he told me. It came from a prepaid hotspot we're already tracking. He didn't say Derek's name, but he didn't have to. Bay Ridge mailed breach notifications to students and parents. Dates, what data was accessed, what steps to take. Seeing it in an official envelope made my throat close. It was proof that what Derek did wasn't drama. Mia's screenshots pulled more people out of the woodwork. Parents who'd been double-charged. A school secretary who said Derek pushed for student lists to pre-qualify scholarships. A former volunteer who admitted the modules were just free videos. On January 18th, Reyes called. "We executed a search warrant," he said. "We recovered donor lists, fake receipt templates, and student files." He paused. "There are charges coming: fraud, identity theft, unauthorized access." I sat on my kitchen floor after that call and cried so hard my ribs ached, because my body finally understood that the adult world was doing something the child world never did. It was taking the evidence seriously. The consequences weren't cinematic. They were paperwork, court dates, restitution, and a no-contact order that listed my name like a boundary carved into law. My mom disputed her charges and got her money back, but she still apologized to me like trusting people was a weakness. I started therapy the next week. My therapist didn't call it closure. She called it my nervous system finally switching off. My sleep got better. I learned that confrontation wasn't about being fearless. It was acting while afraid, with receipts. If you're carrying an old bully's voice in your head, here's what I wish I'd known. Tell one safe person the whole story. Document everything. Dates, screenshots, exact words. Don't meet them alone. Choose an arena where records matter. Use formal channels early. HR, administration, police, before they rewrite reality. Protect your future self like you'd protect a kid you love. Derek wanted my shame private because that's where bullies keep power. And for the first time, I wasn't asking anyone to believe me.